All right, guys, welcome back to Mod Pop Thrift. I'm Tom, full-time eBay reseller. This is Levi.
I got a haircut.
He got all his hairs cut. And it is 5 o'clock. Goodwill closes in an hour, and we have to drop a package off at UPS. We're gonna go see if we can find something good in the last hour that they're open. I don't know.
Snapback.
Mitchell and Ness. Levi is not tall enough to see these. Valvatron, Valvoline. So these are $5 and the sell is $5 on them. But this is the kind of thing, 2017, I was gonna say that might go up in value as it becomes older, but being 6 years old and still only $5, maybe not. Those are vintagier, Mickey and Minnie, and that one's vintagier. Oh, and that's not Stitch. What's his name?
626. That is not Stitch. That is 626. That is a T.
2002 Mickey Beanie Baby. I like this Minnie Mouse. There's a weird Stitch girl. That one's probably worth flipping.
That is 622.
Oh,
I think.
these are vintage. And they've got the pair, Disneyland. Those are nice. And not marked up, so I'd be $4 in the pair.
This is a remake.
I think they're probably 10 or 15 bucks. I don't know, let me comp them. So Levi got some Stitches. This, when did you put this in the cart? Moby to go. Is that the ones that, I'm gonna have to check my own store. I think I have a bunch of games for this. And at which point, if $2.59 makes it, you can pair it up with what Evelyn bought, and maybe we can put them together and they'll sell. I always do well with lava lamps. And then I got these Casey's cups. This one's $2.59. I'm sure I'll do well with that. And then there's two of these camo Casey's for $1.44. And then lava lamp. Okay, if this was genuine lava brand, it would say so here, and it would have a date. So this is not lava brand. It is 2008. It is probably still a get at $5, but not nearly as good. What'd you find? There's only one?
I think.
If there was a pair, we'd be better off. Is this video game something? What'd you find? You don't even know. I don't know
video
yet.
game thingy majiggy controller, it looks like.
So this has almost 100% sell-through rate at like 20 bucks. And you put your phone in it. It plugs into your phone here, and it makes your phone look like a switch essentially, and becomes a controller. Let's see what Levi found. $2.59. This.
It's missing one of its things there.
Missing. I looked at this the last time we were in here, and then I'm like, why didn't I buy that? It's $1.99. And it hooks up. I can't tell what it goes to. It might go to one of the Motorola phones that I have. I don't know. For $2, I think we're going to take it and find out. But this vibrating massager stick, I think is probably, there are none sold. There are none listed. There are two sold for like 25 bucks. For a minute when I saw this on the shelf, I thought it was going to be crazy good. It still might be good, but $2.59, it's the same as the ones that I still have in the back of the van, haven't taken out yet. Let's comp this one, DAC 9125. Okay, so the CD changer, there's none sold, there's none listed, there's nothing about it. But because I already have most of the set, I'm going to go ahead and pick this up. But I'll show you this thing. There is a thing that it looks just like that plays records and CDs. Like, it uses the turntable for the CD changer to play records, and it's worth a fortune even if it doesn't work, and most of them don't work. See if I find any records while Levi tries to beat me to the books. Nothing new over here. All of the Hunger Games or just one of the Hunger Games? Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, I don't normally look at records very much either, but I think this Alfred Hitchcock is a good one. It's in real rough shape though. No, it's like real bad condition. This was here the last time I was here and I passed on it, but I'm gonna check it out. So the James Taylor book is one of those things where everybody's asking $20 and nobody's sold one, but I'm not afraid to buy it for $1 and sell it for 10 plus shipping and get it. So this is one of those things where I scanned it to find the information instead of typing it in, and I came up with much less information scanning the barcode. So be careful about that. You scan the barcode, a lot of times if you're scanning the barcode on something that's brand new and popular, it'll tell you that there's only 40 listed. But when you type it in, you'll get a much larger number. So scanning is good, but can come up short. Sale pretty quickly, I suspect. I actually thought of that while I was watching John, small town bookseller. You should watch his channel so you learn to buy books. I believe I found some Sleepover Friends books. I have not historically done well with Sleepover Friends, even though they're in the same vein as like
Babysitter's Club
and Sweet Valley High and that stuff. So first things, I found this shirt, and my wife is a hot mom, so I like that shirt. Now and Zen, new dead stock vintage tag, probably still only 15 bucks plus shipping, but still a cool piece. These two jackets, one of these is a men's and one of them's a women's. How do you know? What is that?
That one's the men's.
How can you tell?
Well, the one's just bigger, and this one has like a cropped bottom, and this one has a full-size bottom.
Now, if they were not side by side, how would you know? Look at them, tell me what's different. The brand, Levi's could be men's or women's. Look where the buttons are. Here, they're on the right side. Here, they're on the left side. Those are both black denim jackets with the same trucker cut. That one is a men's because the buttons are on this side. That one is a women's because the buttons are on that side. This has sold comp for 99 cents. So I'm not gonna buy it for $5, but I thought sure that would be something. This is about as generic a shirt as I would ever pick up. I got it as part of a collection that I bought, and I paid $3 a shirt, and some of those shirts sold for 50 bucks. This one sold for $6. Plus shipping, fortunately, and it took a while to sell because it's just as plain as it can possibly be. This is another Western shirt. I do reasonably well with Roper brand, and this is cool, but it isn't pearl snap. So it was listed for a long time, and then my wife decided it was cute, and she wanted to wear it for a while, and then it got relisted, and it still took a while to sell. I bet I've owned this shirt for a year and a half, but it's got just a really cool bucking Bronco rider print on it, but it's not pearl snap, and I think that hurts it. I think this is a $25, $30 shirt if it was pearl snap, but it's buttons, so it took a long time for it to sell for $12 free shipping. Making my way through the PS1 discs, and this one sold for also not a ton of money, $13 free shipping. I actually put those as part of a 15% off sale just to see if I could get them to move quick. I like quick turnover more than a high percentage ROI. Obviously, I want to make money, but I want the stuff in and out. And if I take 70% of what I could make, if I take 65% of what I could make, I try not to sell things for half of what they're worth. But if I don't need to make all the money to make some money and move it on and reinvest in the business, put money in the savings account, put money away for taxes. That's what I do with my money. I get a payout every week, and A third of it goes to reinvest, a third of it goes into a family savings account, and a third of it goes into a tax savings account. And then when I do my taxes, I always have too much money in the tax savings account, and we use that like a tax return that we would have gotten when I had a normal job. And the family savings stuff we use for vacations and whatever. And then the stuff that I reinvest, I also buy pizzas on Fridays and gas for the van while I'm driving the kids to school. But it's reinvest money. It's my spending money, and the only thing I really spend money on is buying things for the business. And so I'll spend money on getting Levi a soda while we're out picking, or, you know, whatever it is that I'm spending a little bit of money on that isn't the business stuff. But that's what I do with my payouts, is I split it into equal thirds, and they go to the business taxes, and family savings account. You'll remember a terrible buy that I made recently of a huge Pokemon card collection that I spent entirely too much money on something that I don't know what it is. So once I got digging into it, it was not remotely as valuable as I'd hoped. I bought somebody's Pokemon card collection from the 90s and the early 2000s, hoping to find one or two like, whoa, that's a really good card. That one's going to pay for half the lot. And I got this Game Boy, and I got a Game Boy camera. So the Game Boy sold for $90 pretty darn quickly. The Game Boy camera will sell for 65-ish, 70 maybe, on a really good day. But I paid $300, so I just probably am going to have a $200 Pokemon card collection for a long time, because I'm going to lose my donkey on that Pokemon card collection. I'm basically just calling it a loss already, because it wasn't a good investment. Don't buy stuff that like venture out and find stuff that you don't know what it is and buy it for $4 or $5. Don't spend $200 on don't know what it is, unless you can afford to lose it, which, I mean, this isn't going to murder me, but it hurts my heart to know that I did not do good. I did poorly on that one. I did poorly on a couple recently. That one was one, and then all those CDs. Might be losing another donkey. I might have to call Louisa to come gather my donkeys, because I'm losing donkeys so quickly on buying things that are a couple $100 for lots of little things, and those little things are not panning out to be anything. Did you know the term panning out refers to getting gold? Like, you pan for gold, and when you get to the bottom, you see if any gold has panned out. That's where the term panned out comes from. Sealed Disney VHS, that must be worth a fortune. No, I sold it for $7 plus shipping, and it took a year to sell. But it is a Disney documentary, VHS sealed. It's not in a clamshell. If you find these Disney documentaries in clamshells, sometimes they are good. This one, being in the slipcover, makes it a late run for this series being put out. The movie was made in 1953. There doesn't appear to be a copyright date, but obviously this isn't the VHS tape that came out when VHS were new in the late 70s or the early 80s when they were releasing these. This is more likely from the mid 90s, and you would have gotten it for $10 at Walmart. And that kind of thing makes a difference to a collector. Heavy scoopers tend to be valuable. This is Pampered Chef, so it isn't vintage. It's a melon baller, so it's not an ice cream scoop. I like to buy heavy duty ice cream scoops, except for when I like to leave them behind because I think they're too dirty, and then find out later that they're worth $60. When I comp it while I'm editing the video, instead of comping it while I have it in my hand at the thrift store. That was a couple weeks ago video that I was like, wow, that I should definitely have picked up that thing, but I didn't comp it until I got home editing the video. Anyway, this melon baller, I paid $1.44 for, sold for $11.99. pretty quickly. And that's still, it's $1.50 into $12. So it's a, anyway. Jurassic World youth size snapback. If this was a men's hat, I would assume it would be $20 or $25. I want to say I didn't know it was a youth hat until I got it home. I don't know how I would have missed it, but I don't think I've had it for a long time. I wouldn't buy it again, but I bought it. I put it up. It's sold. That's the point of this, isn't it? So it wasn't the best sale in the world. I mean, I made more money on it than I made on the melon baller. That I was just like, yeah, these are awesome. But being youth size, it took forever. The melon baller sold in 3 or 4 days. That sold in a year. Okay, so this box just got filled and I can't find it right this second. But this welder's shirt picked up for $9 at the auction the other day. Sold for $23 plus free shipping. So not tremendous value. I actually had I got talked down on that, which I'm okay with. I wish I had held out for a little bit more, but it sold quick. So it is what it is. I'm making money. I'm getting stuff moved quickly. But that just got listed and sold, and I'm not sure where that box landed because it's not amongst the regular boxes, and it wasn't obvious where it was in the house. I think Levi moved it, but I don't remember where he put it. So I find that you get a lot less competition and a lot higher sell-through rate on items that are gonna suck to ship. This is not gonna be any fun to ship. Had it listed for $124.99. We paid $15 for it. Went back and forth for a while with the buyer, and eventually they did agree to pay $90 shipped for this. It is from 1998 from the Warner Brothers store. Sold comps are as high as like $115, $120. And I held out for more, mostly because it was Levi's find and he was excited about it. And I wanted him to get the win. So I don't care as much about getting the win myself. To me, a win is finding something that I can sell for any amount of profit. For him, buying a lamp for $15 and selling it for $90 is a victory that will stick with him and keep this fire going that he's got. So that's what I did. And I did eventually, that piece is rare enough and cool enough that I knew I was going to get the right buyer at some point. 12AX7, it's wrapped in paper and then it's wrapped in a piece of cardstock that says 12AX7 on it. And I'll put this into a poly mailer, sold for, now get this. It came out of that CB. It sold for on auction, penny auction. And I said, I have not tested this. I don't know that it works. And this Amperex 12AX7 vacuum tube, buyers all in at $20. Bid up to $20 to own a who knows whether or not it works tube. 12AX7 tubes are highly desirable. So if you find tube amplified stuff and you can figure out what tubes are in it, and a 12AX7 is good. So if you don't know anything else about vacuum tubes, just remember 12AX7. And if it doesn't have that, then maybe it's not worth your time messing with. There are some other ones that are good. EL84, 6L6, 6V6, EC38, 34, something that's a fancy guitar tube head. Anyway, but 12AX7 is the best one, and the things that you're likely to run into are that are valuable are most likely going to be 12AX7s. So if you want a unconditional pick it up for $25 or $30, if it has 12AX7 tubes in it, it's probably a good buy at if you can get in it low enough that it's worth taking the risk on, in your opinion. I picked up a reel-to-reel at a yard sale once that had 5 serial matched 12AX7s that were all Telefunken, which is made in Germany. If you find Telefunken tubes, 12AX7s, and you find 5 serial matched ones, I know a guy who will give you $500 for them, because he came to my house and gave me $500 for just the tubes out of a reel-to-reel that I paid $20 for it in a estate sale. And those were untested. But Telefunken tubes don't break. They don't leak. The Amperex don't generally either. So anyway, remember, 12AX7. If you see 12AX7 for it, and you're willing to on a tube amplified radio, or like that CB, or a reel-to-reel, a record player, you're not probably going to find it in an old TV, tube amp TV. A projector that also does audio, you'll find tube amplified, that stuff sometimes. Preamps, but 12AX7 is the easy code to remember for tube amp stuff. If you don't want to do a deep dive and learn everything, if you learn 12AX7, it probably won't steer you wrong. Say it with me this time. 12AX7. All right. When I found this SpongeBob shirt, I thought for some reason that it was better than most SpongeBob shirts, like it was some special collectible thing. I was wrong. It sold for $12. Like $11.22, buyers all in, including their sales tax, $10.40 free shipping. So I don't know why I even bought that. Because modern SpongeBob shirts, and all SpongeBob shirts are modern, or SpongeBob hasn't been around long enough to have 25-year-old t-shirts yet, but the early stuff can be collectible. That's from 2020, and it's nice looking, I suppose, for a SpongeBob shirt. I'm not sure why I picked that up. This next one is one of those things where I'm quirky about stuff that I care about and don't care about. This says Crown Sterling weighted. It was $2.50 at Goodwill. So it's sterling silver. But the thing about sterling silver weighted stuff is that it's almost impossible until you melt it down to know what the scrap weight is here. And this is tarnished and dinged, and it's got a real big whammo here. So it's not like this is some collectible vintage thing that your grandmother's going to polish and cherish it on her mantle. It's scrap weight silver, and I don't know what the scrap weight is. There were people asking $180 for this same one. Theirs were nice. Mine is not. There were ones that sold for $25 at auction. So I paid $2 for it. I sold it for $20 plus shipping. And it sold in minutes. So I'm sure I undervalued it, but I made my money, and somebody else is going to make some money too. It's how we keep the gears turning. If you told me that you sold a Blaze Orange Snap-on brand vintage snapback for $7.99 with a Made in the USA snap on it, I'd be like, wow, you undersold that. This is not the best thing in the world. The person undoubtedly bought it for this, to tear this patch off and do something else with it. Because, like, the bill is crumbled. Like, and it used to have structure in here, like the foam structure to hold it up. And it doesn't. And the snap is broken. So this is, you'll see on the title, it says as is on it, asterisk as is. And so and then it's just junk. But that patch is cool. Sold for $7.99 plus shipping. Not a great piece, but not something that I want to see thrown away, because that snap, or that patch is so cool. Somebody will do something cool with it. While we're selling this scale, I will say, I just got an offer for $30 on two somethings. We'll look at that in a second. This scale, I paid $1 for, and I said at the time, there were 4 or 5 listed, and they were all $75 or $150, crazy money. And I'm like, but there are none sold. So everybody is holding out for Holy Grail money. If I sell this one for reasonable money, someone will buy mine, and those people still have their 4 listed for Holy Grail money, and mine is going out the door. sold for $27 plus shipping. And while we're looking at a scale, it's probably a good time to tell you, I got on one this morning. And you remember when I told you I was doing weight loss? I haven't lost anyway. I'm up to 292, but I got a treadmill, and I told Judah today is day one of being on the treadmill every day, at least until we go to Disney World. The reason that I picked a treadmill is, 4 years ago, I lost 60 pounds when I was walking every single day through a park trail, and I would carry Evelyn in a baby carrier. Couldn't have been 4 years ago, it would have been 2.5. And Caleb would walk with me, or I'd push him in the stroller 2.5 years ago. And I lost 60 pounds. And then we moved away from the trail that I was able to get to and walk and liked into downtown that was noisy and dirty and the pandemic, and nobody was leaving. And so then I put all of that weight back on. And then, so two reasons. So walking works for me, and I'm going to have to do a lot of walking when we take the kids to Disney World. So the treadmill seemed like a good way to go. So now I have a little bit of an action plan. Eat better food, eat less food, and walk every day and see what happens. I'm not trying to get swole and get down to 165 pounds, my high school weight. I'm trying to be less fat. Not even skinny, just less fat, and feel better and run with the kids in the yard and stuff. I'm not trying to be The Rock. That's not the goal. You'll recall the other day I picked up this lot of 42 50-cent books that are all Nancy Drew mysteries. I got them listed, got an offer. They sold for $65 free shipping. They'll ship media in this box, so it'll be pretty easy to deal with. $65, 22 into 65. I mean, and they'll cost me maybe $12 or $14 to ship. That may be heavy enough that it's worth moving over to UPS, and we'll see. If it is, I will put something up here. So yeah, it is. It's $16.95 for the media mail ship. It's $18.95 for UPS, and UPS is guaranteed in 5 days, and media mail is never guaranteed to ever arrive. So I'll pay $2 more for the UPS. Kiss, Rock Nation. I thought this shirt would be more valuable. It's from 2004, but it's got what the kids would say, sick fade. It's got really good fade on it because it's supposed to be black, and it's gray, and it looks like it's from the 70s, right? I mean, maybe not 70s, but it looks like it's from the early 90s. Anyway, it sold for $18 plus shipping. Buyers all in at $29. So I don't know if that's going international or if I put that at priority shipping or what, but buyers all in at $29, and it'll cost me $4 or $5 to ship. So that is, I think that's everything. Let me look. Yeah, that's everything. So that's all that sold. $1,100, 32 sales. We're going to get all of this shipped, and then we'll do something else.